And now part 2 of chapter 14. So we left off on page 136, and it's right kind of in the middle. Stepping deeper, the cold tinkles my thighs. I rub the goosebumps on my arms. It's always chilly at first, but you'll get used to it, I promise. Catherine, I'm sorry about the other day with the gum. I turn, but she's not looking at me. Chin down, Christy skims her fingertips across the surface of the water. David doesn't get jokes sometimes. The water feels warmer on my legs, and I take another step. Ryan didn't mean to upset him. He told me so. He didn't mean to upset you. The tiny waves that were created from Christy's hands moved the water to make a freezing tickle on my stomach. He said the bottom gets gooey here, I say to change the subject. If you dive in now, you don't have to feel it. Plunging forward, my chest and shoulders scream with the shock of cold. I go under, breaststroking, kicking hard until my lungs ache, and I can't stay under 1 second more. Breaking the surface, my hair is plastered to my face. I tread water, pushing it away. Christy stands in the shallows, her hands tracing across the pond's surface. Come on, I say, it's not bad once you get in. She takes a step. Are you kidding? It's freezing. Not once you get used to it. I'll meet you at the raft. I love swimming in water over my head and cold emptiness under my feet, those sudden warm spots or icy underwater springs. Almost to the raft, I flip to my back and give in to the lightness of floating. Held by the water, I watch the blue sky, waiting for Christy to catch up. This is what I wish for, a next-door friend I could just come and go with. She's out of breath when she reaches me. At the ladder, I grip the sides and swing my feet up to the bottom rung. Water shower off me as I climb. About that big fish, Christy says, swimming closer. What kind is it? The air makes me shiver. I sit on the raft and wrap my arms around my knees. It's probably just an eel. Her eyes widen. It's probably not an eel, just a fish that looks like an eel. Christy scrambles to the ladder. Yuck. I tuck my soaked hair behind my ears, wishing I had brought my hairband. I know without asking, Christy won't want to touch the bottom. She doesn't seem to like the top of the water much. Maybe we can lay out in the sun? We lie on our stomachs, and I peek between the slats to the darkness below. The slight rocking of the raft, the slosh of little waves slapping the boards beneath, and the sun drying my back makes me yawn. I have to find my other suit. I look over to Christy, fixing her shoulder straps. But if it's not at Dad's, I don't know where it is. She lays her chin on her arm. I wish Mom wouldn't give up so easy. It's not like he had an affair. Or maybe they're just taking a break for a little while. Maybe, Christy sighs. Do you think there really is a fish down there? The sadness in her voice makes me want to give her something, even if it's only pretend. What if he is down there, I say, but he's magic, like in that fairy tale, The Fisherman and His Wife? Christy squeezes the end of her braid, drops of water falling off the tip, beating onto the raft. I don't know that story. The guy catches a big fish, except the fish says he's really a prince under a spell. The man lets the fish go, but his wife sends him back to get a wish granted. I'd scream if a fish started talking to me. Me too. What would you wish? I'd wish my parents would get back together and be happy. She turns to me, her eyes worried. Do you think that's 2 wishes or 1? 1. Your turn. What's your wish? I look down between the raft boards and imagine my always wish, my fingers reaching through the perfect top of David's head, finding the broken places in his brain, turning knobs or flipping switches, all his autism wiped clean. But saying that wish brings trouble. All people have a place, my 3rd grade teacher said firmly when I drew a pretend older brother in the My Family picture to be put out in the hallway for open house. I tried to tell her it was still David, but I wanted him to be able to play with me. And since I was fixing things, I made him older so he could stick up for me. But I had to draw the picture over and visit the guidance counselor instead of going to music. Why is it in fairy tales wishes always backfire, I ask. If you want to change the subject, confuse the other person by going off on a wild, chatty detour. Like in The Fisherman and His Wife, I continue. The fisherman's wife keeps wanting bigger things, and by the end of the story, hey, a voice calls, Chris. I sit up so quick, I scrape my knees on the raft. Ryan waves, standing on the sand at the shore. Behind him, his bike rest pops against a tree. Christy waves back, hi. I hope she yells at him to go home, but she says, come on, Catherine, and does a running dive, heading for shore. I let her swim ahead of me. I do the breaststroke, dipping my face in and out of the water so I don't have to see Ryan standing on the sand waiting for us. At the shore, I cross my arms over my stomach and I walk to my shorts and towel. Your mom said you were here, Ryan said to Christy. Did you ask Catherine yet? Ask me. Christy smiles. Catherine, you know how the community center's holding a dance on Saturday? I nod. They asked me to help decorate, Christy said, and I was hoping that I could help you decorate, I said, grabbing my towel off the sand. I'm good at making posters. Actually, I was hoping you'd like to go. Christy glances at Ryan. Me and Ryan and you and somebody. It'll be so much fun. Please say yes. I wrap my towel around me tight as I can. I don't know anybody to ask. Ask Jason, Christy says, that boy you drew. This is your chance to ask him out. I open my mouth, but Ryan's smirk makes me close it. But that's not the reason I don't tell. I don't dance. I slide my feet into my flip-flops. I'll teach you, Christy says. My dad works late a lot, so I don't think I could get a ride. My mom could drop us off and pick us up. On the walk home, Christy has an answer for every one of my can'ts. She'll even loan me clothes and do my hair. Ask him, she says. By the time she's heading up her driveway, Christy has cornered me into a stuttered, I'll think about it. In my room, I peel off my damp bathing suit and put on the first clothes I pull from my bureau, an old shirt and shorts that don't match. I comb wet snarls from my hair and watch Christy's minivan backing out of their driveway. Did Christy call me because she can't go to the dance with Ryan unless I go too? The minivan disappears from view. I turn to my bulletin board and the postcard from Disneyland tacked at the top. I wish it wasn't so expensive to call California. I want to tell Melissa everything and hear her say, It's okay, Catherine, but it would take too long to explain, and maybe she'd be mad that I cared so much about Christy being my friend. In my sketchbook, I try to draw my ankles distorted by the pond water, but they don't look warped and interesting. They look broken. I write words on the white space beside the sketch, but after pond and icy, the only ones that'll come up are guilty, complicated, hidden, and weak. I close my sketchbook. And there ends chapter 14.